Welcome, everyone. This is Jim Spohrer with ISSIP. This is our quarterly new member introduction meeting where new members have an opportunity to get introduced to each other. It turns out one of the main reasons people join ISSIP is to build their network. So we're going to start building our network. I am going to share my screen. I've got a few slides here. Let me see if I can uh, share my screen. Okay, we've got some others joining as well. Um, as I said, this is our ISSIP quarterly community connections meeting. We like to talk about give, get, grow at ISSIP, the International Society of Service Innovation Professionals. I'm Jim Spohrer. I'm one of the co-founders of ISSIP back in 2012. 12 years ago, we started ISSIP to help service innovation professionals, all the way from students to active in their career to retirees, to build their network, collaborate, get recognition for what they're doing. And we'll get into that a little bit more. I want to, before I really get into things, I want to introduce Vaishali Main, who's at least on my Zoom screen, she's right below me, the picture of Vaishali. Vaishali is our volunteer leader. ISSIP runs by volunteers. I'm a volunteer. Vaishali's a volunteer. Vaishali has volunteered to be our community engagement leader, so she was very active in putting this meeting together. And I want to thank you, Vaishali, and I know you'll get a chance to introduce yourself a bit. We're going to go around and just have everybody introduce themselves. But before I do that, I'm going to skip to the last slide in this deck. And this deck, by the way, is already up on our ISSIP slide share. But some of you took a survey about what you hope to get out of ISSIP. And I just thought it would be interesting to start with this survey. Three common themes are grow a professional network, give time, enthusiasm, and expertise on collaborative projects. That's great. And get professional recognition. And that's very important as well. So later in this meeting, towards the end, I have a recording from our executive director at ISSIP, Michele Carroll. And in that recording, she's going to take us through ISSIP and some calls to action, how to get more engaged. But we try to be a very open and inclusive community. There's a lot of professional associations out there from marketing. The American Marketing Association has a very big service marketing group. That's one of the biggest, I think. Service operations, service computing, service design. Muncie, you're part of that big network. There's these huge networks. But as we know, service systems need all of those, right? We need business people, we need engineers, we need designers, we need social scientists. So ISSIP tries to be that place where no matter what your specialty, you can come together in a broader community for some opportunities to network, collaborate, and get recognition. So I'm going to just start by introducing myself. Then I'm going to ask Muncie to introduce herself. And then assuming that you're all on camera and want to introduce yourself, I'll call on you and you get a chance to introduce yourself. I'm Jim Spohrer. I'm one of the founders of ISSIP from 2012. I'm a retired industry executive, and I retired a couple years ago. I'm 68 years old. I'll be 70 in 21 months. I'm still trying to wrap my head around the fact that I'm going to be 70 in 21 months. But I've had a great career. I was at Apple for 10 years. Yes, I knew Steve Jobs. I was at IBM for over 20 years and had a variety of roles. Probably one of the most exciting is I got to start the service research area for IBM Research. And that's one of the reasons we started ISSIP, is we wanted to promote these what we call T-shaped professionals who have breadth and depth, and have fun while we do it and get to know a lot of people around the world. So we started ISSIP for that purpose. When I think about what I'm trying to do right now, though, okay, so there's a lot of stories I could tell, a lot of lessons learned working for Apple and IBM. In fact, I met Vaishali when she was at IBM before she went over to Google. So Vaishali and I have at least known each other for quite some time. But when I focus on today, like Jim, what are you trying to do for ISSIP today? I have been working on automating the back end of ISSIP. So there's a lot of little things you have to do anytime you're running a nonprofit. And we live in this world of AI. We live in this world of amazing technology. So I've been working on how do we make it easy for our volunteers to do their job? and and little bits of code, here and there. I still like to program in Python, and my son is really good at it. My son Steven, he's been helping me. So we've been automating some of the back end of ISSIP, and hopefully this will make it easier for volunteers in the future. So that's what I am giving to ISSIP primarily. That's what I'm most interested in giving to ISSIP. I would like to have lots of the back end automated before I turn 70 in 21 months. What do I get for doing this work, for doing this volunteer work? Well, after 12 years, I go back and I look at some of our ISA members who signed up 12 years ago, and they were students, like you, Pooja. They were students. And now they're vice presidents of HR at some space company working for a billionaire, who's trying to get to space. I mean, it's just amazingly fun for me to watch these people some of whom I've interacted with on projects, and now they're in these leadership roles across industries around the world. And and I feel good because I know a little bit of that service science, service system thinking is still with them, and so we're creating this network of people who've interacted on this important topic of service. And obviously, I think service is a central concept for our time. And by the way, with some co-authors, including Paul Maglio, Steve Vargo, and Marcus Varg, I've written a book, Service in the AI Era, and I'm happy to give any of you a digital copy of that if you want it. Just ping me on LinkedIn, and I can send you a digital copy of that. So I get just the enjoyment of watching people's careers grow. And how do I want to grow? Okay, we're lifelong learners in this ISIP world. And I know this is going to sound strange to some of you, and some of you may say, oh my gosh, I thought he was a nice guy. Now I'm like scared of him. But please don't be scared of me. I really am a nice guy. I try to be anyway. But I do want to have an AI digital twin of myself. And sometimes I get too busy and I wish I could have another version of me. I get a lot of invitations to speak still. I mentor a lot of students. I get a lot of invitations to write papers. I can't do a lot of the invitations I get. I just get too many. I can't do it. But if I had an AI digital twin who could help write the papers, help give the talks when I can't be there, and answer the questions, and mentor students who want some mentoring, maybe they just need a life lesson that I have told the story 1,000 times, and my AI digital twin could be available 24/7. So I'm really interested in this concept of AI digital twins. I'm actually working with a couple organizations who've already started creating AI digital twins of their leadership. EIT Digital is coming out with a white paper that I wrote. So anyway, that's me. I've gone on too long, but since I'm the founder and going first, I got to hog a little bit here. But now let's go over to Vaishali. So Vaishali, please introduce yourself, and then we'll get everybody on the Zoom introduced.
Thank you so much, Jim. Good morning, everyone. Now I'm getting a little scared of Jim when he says the digital twin. So I really want you to be the real person joining these meetings. And
It's me. It's me. I'm real.
I just want to make sure that you promise that you'll be the real Jim and not the digital one, because I don't think digital would be as good as the way you are. Yeah. Thank you and morning, everyone. I'm very glad that people have joined in from different parts of the world. So I don't know if morning would be the right thing, maybe afternoon, evening. The way Jim said, I knew Jim when I was working at IBM in India. I was with IBM for nearly a decade, a little over a decade. And Jim has always been the way he is. I don't know what age he said. I don't want to disclose my age here, but I think he's still the way he was. I still feel connected with Jim. And back in those days, we had something called same time in IBM. We never had these cameras and things like that. I mean, if you date back, if you're not as old as me. So I'm currently residing, I'm based out of Austin, Texas. I work with IBM. I've done my master's from Indian Institute of Technology, Chennai. I was the only girl back then. So, the way Jim said, unfolding careers and your life's achievements, it's been a long path. And then I did interact with Jim, very, 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 friendly, very casual. You can just call him, text him, and, reach out to him anytime. So that's what pulled me into being part of ISSIP when ISSIP didn't even exist. This was in 2008, 9, 10, and I was interacting with Jim. Coming from then back to the recent times when I became an official member of ISSIP, that's how you can also see my background, and that's one of the things we would be glad to share, the ISSIP logo and background screen. Uh, and I worked with Google, was impacted by the layoff last January. Last January, I'm back to working with the Fed government, with the healthcare as a consultant there, consulting. And I'm based out of Austin, doing a lot of small things here and there, but glad to be part of ISIP, the community which talks about service innovation as its niche, and that's what makes me so connected to ISIP. So we have based this community discussions, interactions on a give, get, grow. Because when it's a community, there's always a reason, there's always a motto, or there's always some inspiration to join. And each one of us, trust me, each one of us, anyone literally on the street, has something to give. And that's where the connection should start. Although we also come with the mindset of getting something. I'm part of this community. I'm come to this room. I'm come to this belonging because there's something that connects to me. But we also want to focus on the give, get, and grow. So all these give, get, and grow are interconnected. It's not just give or just get or just grow. And the basic community is to come together to unite. So when I said the minimum thing that I could give is lend a pair of ears, because people who are joining new are excited. They have a vision, they have something in their minds, and maybe we didn't know about that. Maybe we could think about it. Maybe we could work together on that. So that's what I want to do. And that's I think the easiest thing to do is at least listen, and listen without any prejudices or anything that comes, just blank slate, start clear, start clean. So we all could work together. Um, Get is to learn the art of building this global technical community, the way we can see people from different walks of life, having different things to offer, a different mindset, different beliefs, and different ideas of service innovation or anything that you think would help the community grow. And to grow is the mission of ISIP, together to grow as a community. That's what I'm here for. I'm here to be part of the team with real Jim and real everyone here. I don't want Jim to create a digital twin very quickly. So by the evening, there's a digital Jim. I think it would be nice to have more people around, and then as you come into the room, you can grow. We all have our hands together. We all put hands together to become part of the GGG, give, get, and grow. And I'm open to any ideas that you have, or you can reach out to me on LinkedIn or any other ways we could connect through emails or other stuff. We are trying to put things together to find what could be those common areas where people can network, work together, be there for each other and have their presence. With that being said, I won't take much of the time, and I'll pass it to the person whom I can see next to me is Pooja. So over to you, Pooja. Get yourself introduced and feel comfortable.
Thank you so much, Vaishali. And kudos to you and your achievements. I really connected when you said you were affected by the layoffs. Some of my experiences recently, but thank you for sharing. So hi everyone, my name's Pooja Jobalia. I'm working with the University of Washington in Washington State. And we have a club called the AI Club, but the name is a little deceiving. It doesn't stand for artificial intelligence. It stands for analytics innovation. So our AI Club consists of a group of master's students. mainly doing masters in business analytics, and who are trying to focus on, learning from real world data, or work with some organizations that are out there and making differences. And ISSIP couldn't have been a better partner, because it's helping us grow our Gen AI knowledge, and it's been a phenomenal journey with Jim and Michele. Thank you, Jim. So with University of Washington, we're trying to get our students. I myself am an alumni from the same school and batch. So we're trying to lead the entire group of students into a direction where they can learn the pros and cons of using Gen AI tools and prompt re-engineering, or even look at the other side of these Gen AI tools, because there are advantages of using it, but there are a lot of disadvantages that we're not looking at right now, or we could be overlooking right now, but should be something that we are focusing on. So that's something we're doing with the Give, and I'm going to follow the pattern. For Get, I think it's an incredible platform for our students to network with experienced professionals, to learn how things are outside, and get a gist of what it will be when they graduate, and then they finally stepping out in the industry to work on the new technologies and the processes for the same. So that's another thing. And I think collaboration is something that that only increases in efficiency when you have more experience. It's not something you can study. So that's another thing that we're loving at ISSIP, and this opportunity. And talking about grow, we're looking forward to doing more projects which involve, just this problem solving. And when we're looking at any project that we're working on with the students, and we have this meeting with Jim, Michele, Deb, and then we have these multiple perspectives that come up, which kind of makes us wonder, we were not able to think about the same thing or look at the same thing in the manner that they showed us. So I think that is an incredible opportunity again for all of us at UW. And for me personally, my agenda for a longer future, I'm looking at, I definitely want to do something in the sustainability space. And I don't know yet what I want to do and what I will be able to do, but it's just something that I feel like would be completing my desire to contribute to the world. So that's about me. It's a pleasure meeting all of y'all. And thank you again, Jim.
Great. So Vaishali, who's next on your list? And nice to get introduced to you even more, Pooja, our great student leader at University of Washington. And I did put your URL into the meeting so that Montse, Kareem, and Mauricio can connect with you if they'd like. Thank you again, Pooja. So Vaishali, who shall we go to next for introductions?
Yeah, thank you, Pooja, for your introduction. It was nice knowing you, other than having a nice, bright smile in the day. I think it's very bright out there in your place. Next, I think is from on the list I can see is Manse. So do you want to go ahead and...
Hi all. Well, I'm a Mexican service designer located at Jalisco. That is where the mariachi and the tequila come from. So it is a very good place to live. I am a self-taught service designer with almost 10 years of experience. Although on the way, I try to have a variety of projects from student, employee, customer experience. And at this moment, I am trying to connect with all types of professionals that love services as I do, because it is like a great passion for me as well. Well, I will follow the pattern of the geese. So I will start with a gift. What can I give? Well, I'm a good listener as well. So if you have any, especially to gossip, I am great for gossips. But in case that you require graphic recording or graphic facilitations, any illustration, I love to generate content. I love to do TikToks. So that's that's one thing that I can help you to do. And that was the give. The grow. Well, I really want to grow, and I think that I'm in that process. So I want to learn from you, to connect, to know other ways to work, other ways to uh, to have relations all along the way of a professional career, to open my perspectives. I want as well to practice my English. I think that I can get better in that as well. I can imagine myself like going to other countries, and I don't know if I go to Copenhagen to tell Karim I will go to Copenhagen. I want to have like to get to know different people for all the world, to open my mind as well. My family is from a very little town, so maybe that's why I want to open my horizons and to get well. In this moment, I am opening myself to different opportunities. The first 10 years of my career, I have been an independent contractor, freelancer, and at this point of my life, I think that I'm open to new possibilities, like I don't know, to have a corporate experience. I don't know. I want to open myself to new opportunities. So I think that that's one of the main reasons I am trying to reach out different people, and here I am. Nice to meet you all.
Thank you so much, Mansa. I think it was nice to talk about tequila. It's early morning breakfast time. So I might cut short this meeting for that reason. And it's really good to know that you're good with content creation and open to learning, want to increase your horizon and reach out to people. You're more than welcome. And I think all of us, thanks Jim for sharing all the LinkedIn profiles with all the people, and we would first start with connecting right with each other. You're more than welcome. And we would be glad to know what you're learning and grow with you. Thank you, Manse. Next on the screen, I see is Karim, and Karim has been waiting because Manse is flying over to Karim's place to spend time there and learn from him. Over to you, Karim.
Well, first of all, it was nice meeting you all, and basically thank you, Jim and Vaishali, for also organizing this introductory event. So quickly about me, I'm a mix of a lot of things. Basically that T individual with a lot of breadth and depth in that sense. My background is in computer science and business. I've worked internationally for 8 years in software development, IT product management, in both startups and corporates. And at the same time, I worked in retail and category management, business development. And then I probably just slammed into a wall and thought, hey, why not do a PhD and move into academia? So I am currently an academic. I'm currently an assistant professor of marketing at Radboud University in the Netherlands. With a technical background and a marketing business background, I do a lot of AI as as the hot topic is. But even before AI was a thing, I remember working on, I have a similar dream to Jim's, not necessarily a digital twin, but sort of a personal agent that complements my cognition, emotions, and stuff like that. So on a similar level, I've also written many Python structures for how do I want this to work out, the AI brain of it, the thing that deciphers patterns. So yeah, maybe we can work on something together, Jim, at some point to just explore those ideas. But with what I'm currently working on right now is, and what I did before, I worked on, I found myself in chatbot territory and conversational agents. I've published papers on these, including ways that these conversational agents help us improve not only the customer's experience, by not only providing customer experience, but also understanding it better. So by understanding customer experiences better, we understand what the human behind the customer, and we want to humanize these technologies and make them responsible. So those are the sort of areas that I'm interested in. I joined ISSIP as an ambassador for Surf Collab, which is a nonprofit for human organization. It's an academic institution where we're trying to find ways of helping people or people's well-beings and eventually moving them to well-becoming. I have lots to talk about, but I'll keep it short. When it comes to the give, I hope to lend my professional experience and academic experience to the table. Everything with, I know that ISSIP has an AI collab project going on. Would be interested to also learn more about it, but also to connect to a lot of other individuals that I'm sure I can learn quite a lot from. So connecting and knowledge, and eventually this growth, I think, manifests itself through collaborations together. We all learn from one another, and I think it's very humbling to be in an organization like this, where everyone has, gone through their fair share of knowledge and experience, and exchanging that is, I think, very valuable to an individual's growth. So that's it about me. If you'd like to connect, please feel free to connect, and let's keep in touch. Thank you once again for this session, and yeah, I'll leave it over to I think Mauricio is now next.
Good morning. Pleasure and honor to be here too. I know Jim might be like it's 5 or 6 a.m. your time, so this shows how committed he is, and it's always a pleasure to interact with him, as everyone mentioned. What I would like to give in terms of contributing to ISSIP, well, I have a career in service design. I've been working at LiveWork, which is a small consultancy, since 2011. I was the grad program coordinator at the Savannah College of Art and Design until end of 21. Then I joined Truist, a bank, as a service design director. And since April last year, I'm working with my former boss's boss at the bank at Truist in a startup related to this AI twin. And I've been experiencing this, Jim, with the beta tests that we are doing. I kind of created an AI of myself, and it's an interesting experience, as I mentioned to you before, like having 15 people asking you questions all at the same time about 15 different things, and you're responding. So it's a contribution that I want to give to the network too. my experience this year developing this platform and contributing to whatever AI related and service design related topics in the community. In terms of getting, I'm always inspired by all of ISSIP members, so I'm getting much more than I could provide a return for. So I'm very honored to be part of this group. I'm an ambassador too for the service design community, and now Monse is joining. And the more, the better. And in terms of grow, I've been in service related efforts. I'm a Rotarian. I've been volunteer for the Service Design Network forever. So I know by fact how important it is to nurture a community, and just by being part of a thriving community like ISSIP is in itself a path to grow. So in a nutshell, this is my give, get, and grow perspective.
Great, Mauricio. And I just can't resist putting a paper into the chat. That's only 1,000 words that I'm writing. It's a blog post for EIT Digital about AI digital twins. Since Kareem, you and I are so interested in this topic, I thought I would share it with you. And maybe I can even upload the copy of my Service in the AI or a book here as well. But there is one more person we need to hear from, and to hear from them, because it is so early in California, and Michele, our executive director, is in California. I'm pretty sure she's going to be on the later call we have, but for this one, she sent a recording. So I am going to play a recording from Michele. And if you'll just bear with me, it's a little tricky for me to figure out how to do this. And I have to make sure that you're going to be able to hear it. That's always the tricky part. So let me see if you can hear this, and if you can't, I'll play around with it till you can. So I'm sharing my screen again. Let's get out of PowerPoint though, and close that window, and close this, and close this. And where is the browser? There's the browser. There's the YouTube. And I think, yeah, just let me know with a thumbs up if you can hear this. If you can't, I'll make an adjustment or something. Did you hear it? Oh,
No.
Oh, no, you couldn't hear it. Okay, so let me see.
Jim, I think it's the sharing option. I think when you share your screen, you need to enable sound. I think that it's an option, I think.
.org, which gives you... Hello and welcome to ISSIP, the International Society of Service Information Professionals.
Yeah.
We welcome you as a new member, and I want to walk you through this very brief presentation, which you can download on our website, ISSIP.org, which gives you a little walkthrough of who we are and the areas of focus and activity where we invite your engagement. We are volunteer managed and run, so we really welcome your time and talent in areas we have sketched out or others you may have in mind. We are now up to a community of nearly 2,000 people involved in all aspects of innovation, service innovation, that is of benefit to people, to business, or to society. We have more than 600 institutions, more than 200 educational institutions in 70 different countries among our members. And it really is about half and half US, outside the US, big European concentration, and growing now in Asia and in the Americas. You can meet our leaders on the leadership page of the website, and you'll see companies and academic institutions, governments, and NGOs represented in our leadership for a real diverse array, from the very large to startup and the much smaller entities across all those types of entity, working on innovation in various ways. How do we advance innovation to benefit people, business, and society? We do it through 4 basic buckets of activity. We host regular events for the exchange of ideas. This calendar on the events page of our website tells you which topics are up across month. There is something possible every week and month and quarterly, and we're doing series this year that are a little new and different. We regularly recognize excellence in service innovation. There is the big annual award announcement, which happens in the spring. We call for nominations, so looking to how you can engage. If you're involved in a cool service innovation project, nominate yourself. If you know of people working in these fields, please keep up these amazing entries. This year's submissions were so impressive and so diverse. That's exactly what we want to see, more and more of the kinds of service innovation afoot for excellence to be recognized. So there is awards participation. If you're interested in publishing, ISSIP manages a partnership with Business Experts Press at no charge to you. You can contribute chapters, and Jim Spohrer and Haluk Demirkian help research, write, and edit, and get you published in either of the 2 collections that ISSIP manages. And we have our academic industry collaboration initiative really taking off. A lot of information about that on the website as well, AI Collab, and they're serving as an ISSIP ambassador. In each of these areas, you'll see a section of the website. So on awards, click there and you can see all the award winners from last year and years prior, and the new ones about to come out for the nature of the work and specifics on the teams and people and institutions involved. There are 5 different kinds of events that ISSIP manages. The ambassador panels are where an ambassador liaise on behalf of ISSIP to another conference or institution that you might care about. If you're interested in a topic, you can arrange the panels yourself. You identify a couple speakers, a moderator. We are the platform where you host it, and single hour-long event, the Ambassador Series, gets uploaded to our YouTube channel, and that becomes an asset for the community. So that's one way. All of those award winners are invited to share the nature of the work they've done that was recognized in a weekly speaker talk, a 30-40 minute review of what the work was, who was involved, and how it makes a difference. And people for all of these events can patch in live and interact, or catch the recording later on our YouTube channel. The Discovery Summits are deeper dives into topics of importance. We're going to have 2 Discovery Summit series this year, one in partnership with Penn State's University's School of Engineering, an industry discovery series across different industries, exploring through lines of engineering excellence and innovation. The other is a Discovery Summit on the topic of democracy and the threats and opportunities of AI and social media to democracy in this year when more than half the world's population have elections. We do sponsor about 10 conferences every year where ISSIP leadership will be involved in planning or coordination of the event, or speaking, keynoting, judging best papers. There is always interest in serving on volunteers to serve on those committees for the 10 separate conference events and help with the white paper evaluations. And then InReach this year, in addition to those 4 outreach channels for idea exchange, we're launching a new quarterly InReach series of events where new members, and all members are welcome, but new members are invited to connect with each other, meet each other, and understand why you're here, what it is you want to give, to get, and to grow, how you want to grow with ISSIP or help ISSIP to grow. Again, drill down in each of these areas on the website. There's an active call for authors for the Business Expert Press partnership on the website now. There's a call for ambassadors. Always, we have more than 90 active ambassadors liaising with other organizations and institutions, conferences, and there's the AI Collab, where we have, I believe, 5 now active universities working on the topics now are digital twins development and generative AI. They've developed some fascinating playbooks for ISSIP and are working on projects for our institutional members, or can. You can get specific examples there on the website, AI Collab section. Individuals, people such as yourself, are free for membership in ISSIP, and we are funded by our institutional members. There's a tiered investment and engagement system, which is shown here. And if you are interested in institutional membership or know someone who might be, I would be the one to contact. And again, I'm Michele, Executive Director of ISSIP, and my email is right there. Again, welcome. It's good to have you in the community.
Great. Whoops. Sorry. Let me get out of this. Sorry. I have no idea what this is. There we go. Sorry about that. It's always fun when you play a YouTube in a meeting and things happen like that. So I just want to share the presentation that I started with one last time, because we do have, and by the way, this presentation, I'll put the link. Oops, that's the wrong one. There we go. I will put the link to, I've already put this up on the ISSIP slide share. If you've got that link, you can already get access to this presentation. But here's Michele, and this is the many ways to engage with ISSIP. And she just wanted me to reinforce, you know, obviously you have all registered. We do have a company LinkedIn page. So that's something I'll put in the chat. I think most of you are on that though. And then we have a LinkedIn group for discussions, and we have our YouTube channel, presentation channel with SlideShare, events, and then we do have this option for volunteering. And I'm going to, you know, just summarize again, these were some of the themes that we saw in this. If I'd had a little bit more time, since some of you had done the Give, Get, Grow, we could have turned your, you know, survey into a little slide for you when you introduced yourself. But didn't quite have enough time for that this time around. This is, you know, piloting something new to get more community engagement. I do want to just end with, we do have a little bit more time. You know, there's, Vaishali had said, how can we make this more fun? You know, and so we like thought, oh, maybe we should tell some jokes or something. Maybe not. But we were thinking, oops, I'm sorry if I'm still sharing my screen. There we go. Zoom, where's Zoom? There we go. So I think one of the things, you know, as a service design person, a lot of us have service design in our blood. One thing, Pooja, that we don't have that people have said is we should have a student ambassador series. Now that's complex because people don't stay students very long. So if they're a student ambassador, do they transition to an ambassador? So we have to figure that out. You know, Montse's in our new pipeline for ambassadors, and we're so happy to have an ambassador in Mexico as well, Montse, and someone with your energy. But, you know, so we're always trying to think, how do we get volunteers engaged? And I think introductions is something that we need to get better at as a community, how we introduce ourselves to each other. You know, it is a lot of work to produce a professional video. Here's me, you know, for a general audience. It's a lot easier to target an introduction in a special way, but I've been giving quite a bit of thought to introductions. And also, once we're introduced, I remember when I was young in my career, I was not a very good collaborator, actually. I was kind of, I don't know, I had rough edges, and they got smoothed off, you know, over the years, you know, bumps, and you get round and smoother on how you collaborate. But I think, you know, one of the things I'm working on right now is revising our ISSIP handbook for ethical collaboration, and, you know, have people sign up that, you know, we're going to be polite and professional when we interact. That's so important. But there's just a lot of activities. There's a lot of ways people could get involved in ISSIP. And I think the introduction, the ethical guidelines, and the handbook, collaboration projects that are meaningful, some of this automation stuff or help assistant stuff that some of us have been talking about. All of these are interesting things. So I'm going to be quiet and see if anybody has questions for each other, or Vaishali, if you've got ideas on how we can make this more fun here. I know that was important to you to try to have some fun today with all of us.
Yeah, thank you, Jim, for playing that video. I know it's always difficult when you have to play something beyond what we are discussing and then screen sharing. We are still, all of us are still learning. It was nice to know Michele, as always. I think one thing that I wanted to keep it light and, you know, make it easy, because we come from different walks of life, was to have a fun fact or something that you wanted to share. Is there something that you know, that connects us even otherwise, other than service innovation? So I'll start with something that I come from India. So I think most of us, the connect is food. I'm not a foodie, but I do a lot of cooking because my son loves, he loves the best food. The moment he enters home, he'll say, oh, this is cooking, or this has this, and this doesn't have this. So I cook, but I'm not a foodie. I'm not really that deep into food. I think in the past 5 or 6 years, I have baked nearly 18,000 cookies, maybe 19,000 this year. I make those small cookies without eggs. I'm allergic to eggs. So that's the fun fact. It's actually a fact. Yeah, I do a lot of baking in terms of cooking and other things. And I know that when Manse said tequila, that connected to food, there could be different aspects. I'm also an artist and I love everything creative in this world. And I find creativity in anything. Literally, if you keep 5 tomatoes, I would find that very creative and I could arrange them in different order. And someone says, oh, what's so great about 5 tomatoes on the table? And that's still fine. So there's so much creativity. There's so much humanness I find in this AI world. And I know there are people who talk about AI. I am with them, but I also respect, enjoy, and really enjoy being part as a human first, and human always. So that's the fun fact about me, if anyone wants to share anything. I think the other thing which Jim shared was the survey results, and there were some nice examples of give, get, grow. Maybe in the next quarterly session that we have, I'll bring some of these, interesting things without naming people, without putting the names across that. So that would give people some ideas of we could connect within ISSIP on different platforms and learning, helping each other grow, share their different perspectives and things. So over to anyone who wants to go next. It's open.
And Kareem just maybe Kareem can go next because he put do ISSIP members get Vaishali cookies? And it's interesting because one of the things that we've had big board debates about is we were going to have like a way that you could get an ISSIP hat or an ISSIP coffee cup, and one of our board members say no, that'll destroy the planet. We don't need more junk on the planet, so we can that idea. But maybe there's a way, Vaishali, we could have people sign up to get buy some of your cookies and make a donation to ISSIP at the individual level. So Kareem, thanks for that really, really good idea. And I did put a tinyurl.com intro for Jim. I am working on the science of introduction. So if you're interested in that, click on that link and you can see what I'm playing around with. But food brings out the best of us, brings us together. So Kareem, what's a fun fact about you?
Okay. Well, maybe where I'm from is also could be interesting. So I'm half Lebanese and half Slovak. So two small countries that are very far apart. And the interesting bit there is I haven't really lived my life in these countries. So when you ask me about where is home, I'm as my mom calls it, I'm like a hermit crab, with the home on its back, and I just move from one place to another. For now, I'm in the Netherlands. Another fun fact, not related to what I do, but something that I did. I got interested in life coaching, and I became a life coach for a few years, and then I stopped. So here there are two facts about me that and obviously still interested in those cookies as well.
Thank you. Who wants to go next? Fun fact.
Go next. So yeah, I think food connects us for sure. But I'm from India as well, and that's why it's so bright right now. This week I'm spending in India. So yeah, answering that question. But I belong to a household which believes in this philosophy of Jainism, which is very close to Buddhism. But we generally don't eat anything that even grows underground. So like onion, potatoes, carrots, beetroot, nothing. So I think every time I've said I'm a foodie, I've had people laugh at me like, you cannot say that. You're just not allowed to say that. But what I mean by that is food can make or break how I feel about the day. So it's that kind of foodie, not, so yeah, but anyways, that was the food aspect. But I think if I'm talking about some things that I'm very passionate about outside of work, it's definitely going to be travel. I've traveled to about 12 countries. And it's, as time passes, you start losing out company because it's very difficult for everybody to be free at the same time. So a lot of my trips have been just solo trips or backpacking trips. And I'm a big fan of adventure. So trying everything that I can when I have the ability to. Love hiking, love outdoorsy things, kayaking, parasailing, paragliding. Do it. I mean, I just feel the adrenaline is something that really drives me. So I'm very passionate about that.
Fantastic.
Thank you so much. Sorry, Jim, go ahead.
No, go ahead. Fun
Yeah,
facts.
thank you
These
so much,
are
Pooja.
very
Nice.
fun facts. I like that foodie as a Jane. Wow. Whew. That blows my
It's
mind.
like, yeah, a different perspective when you narrow down those basic food like potatoes and where you said carrots, and that's part of life for most of us. But if you exclude that, then being a foodie, it's interesting. And you said 20 countries. So how many states have you covered? And did you cover all the 50?
No, I haven't covered about 7 states in the middle of the US, but West Coast, East Coast, the South and North, all of it.
That's nice, interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I think
Thank you,
some of the
Pooja.
good,
Good to know.
yeah,
Yeah. More than welcome to come over to Texas and we could meet and have some, food time together, including mom.
absolutely. I'd
Yeah.
love to try those cookies.
Sure. We can ask Manse to go next. She has some nice tequila for us.
Fun fact, well, part of my family is from Mazatlan, where how do you say, oh, the cosmic event that just passed on Monday.
Eclipse.
Eclipse, yes, yes. I was talking with my cousins, and they told me that my mom and my aunties make the NASA guys to dance with them because in the town there was like a party previously, during, and after the eclipse. And my cousin told me, your mother were asking to dance all the NASA guys, and all of them were like very like very happy dancing with all our family. I was like, you know what, I think that the reason why I am a service designer is because they are the organizers, and I think that they are the ones that really know how to create experiences, because they are always like organizing and doing and coordinating the neighborhood, and and helping others. And they have a set that says, si no naces para servir, no sirves para vivir. That means in English, he who does not live to serve does not serve to live. And well, that's my little anecdote.
Okay. Anyone else with a fun fact? We're almost
Just,
at the top of the hour.
yeah.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Just contribute to the foodie stream. So when I was living in France, friends of mine taught me how to do pesto, a very rough, very rugged way of doing pesto. And since then, I have friends. Whenever I do I fix a pesto, I have friends calling. So it's kind of a proud achievement in terms of food on my side that I kind of wear with a honor. The friends say, "How many do you have pesto this week?" I said, "No, I'm sorry, I didn't have time." But it's a fun fact that I enjoy sharing with friends.
Very nice. Very nice. Good. Yeah. Well, we're 3 minutes away from the top of the hour, and I'm going to give you back a little time, but my fun fact is Stephen King, the horror author, was my high school English teacher in Maine. So if I seem a little scary sometimes, chalk it up to having Stephen King as my high school English teacher. Yeah, I grew up in Maine, and he was a high school teacher at Hamden Academy, where I went to high school. So after he came into class one day, said, I'm going to be rich. I published Carrie, but he honored his commitment to the high school and finished out the term, even though he was didn't need the money anymore. But the funny thing I always tell people is after he did that announcement, I'm not joking, the next week, everybody in that school, all the students, all the teachers were working on their novel because they figured if he can do it, any of us can. So dream big, and who knows, you might succeed. All right. Well, thank you so much. I will post this recording to our ISSIP YouTube. If you want to go back and remember anything, please connect with each other. And thank you so much for making this a fun new member introduction. Thank you so much. Anything you want to say, Vaishali, since you're no?
Yeah, just last thing, Jim, I know we all are connected with you, but if you could always share your LinkedIn, so somebody who comes new, and yeah, that would be nice. Give, get, grow. We all are here to be together now, and as long as we have ISSIP and all together. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you. I
Thank you all.
will
Nice to
put
meet
that
you.
in. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye. Right. There's my LinkedIn into the chat. Now I can close the Zoom.